WCB Podcast, your source for all things Chicago Blackhawks and everything hockey. With your host, Jarom and Tanner. Let's do it. Jarom and Tanner.
All right, welcome to another edition of the WCB Podcast, episode 201. It's Jarom, it's Tanner. What's up, bud?
Nothing much, man. You know, just having a good time watching hockey. Not great hockey, but watching hockey.
Yeah, lack of hockey. Not much hockey watching with the Blackhawks, but still shit to talk about because we have to. Coming off of a huge episode with Roenick, I think we're getting a lot of positive feedbacks on that one. People thought it was just fucking mind blowing that we somehow got Jarom Roenick, which, you know, no big deal. What's up? If you haven't listened to that yet, make sure to check that one out. It's definitely worth a listen. He's a legend, all-time legend.
It's just so funny to hear the live updates of the Edmonton and Tampa Bay game during the interview.
Like the fact that we heard about Evander Kane's injury from Jeremy Roenick is just hilarious to me.
Yeah.
But all right, that was last episode. This is the new episode, so let's get into it. Not a great week of hockey for the Hawks. Between recordings, between me and Tanner, there's 4 games played. We're just gonna go through them really quick because there's not a lot to talk about here. First up, last Thursday, rematch against the Kings. First time around, the Hawks won 2-1 in overtime. So guess what happens this time?
Same thing.
It's the Kings win 2-1 in overtime. This one was tough too. It was Mrazek's first game back after the groin injury. I thought he played pretty well in this one. He definitely was the reason this game was to the point where it was at.
Yeah, I mean, he was the whole reason that this game lasted as long as it did and went into OT and almost went into a shootout. They literally scored in overtime with 2 seconds left.
There's 1.4 seconds left. Kevin Fiala puts it away, and it was just a heartbreaker. But
I think what's really some positives from this is last time we played the Kings, we got smoked in the faceoff circle. This time we play the Kings, and it's the complete opposite. It's everything was the complete opposite of the last game.
Yeah, that first game was Taves' worst game in the faceoff draw, and he finished this game with an 86 win percentage. So
I mean, and that just goes to show if they get whooped in the faceoff, that's a huge deal. But they made the adjustments, and that shit worked really well. They probably noted everything that these guys were doing and watched fucking film on it, and we're okay, well, whoever's coaching them on the faceoffs, it was just this is what you're gonna do instead, and they won almost 70% of the faceoffs instead of 30. It was crazy.
Yeah, the Huts one goal too came on the power play. It was nice to see them get a power play goal. It's been a little bit since they were able to do that. They still only finished 1 for 4 in on the power play, but you know what? Again, what a lot of people, and I think we're gonna really hit this with the last couple games, is what we saw in the beginning of the season was just short of a miracle. It was not supposed to go the way it did. So the fact that it's when we get little power play goals here and there kind of thing, it's hey, take that for what it is, because this is more realistically of what this team was supposed to look like and be how they were supposed to be playing this season than what we saw the first.
Yeah, they weren't supposed to be coming back from 2 goals down 3 games in a row and winning those games. That wasn't supposed to be happening.
Yeah, no. They followed that game up. Was it the next day? No, 2 days later, playing the Anaheim Ducks, who I think at that point were the worst team in the NHL, if not very
much
close to it. Yeah. And the Ducks came out firing. It just felt like vintage.
Yeah, no,
Blackhawks.
It was weird.
Playing really down. 19 seconds into it, Troy Terry gets on the board. And then about halfway through the first, Adam Henrique makes it 2-0. And then
just the team defense altogether in the beginning of that game was just non-existent. And this is another one of those times where Sarvid oh my god, Arvid Soderblom, not Sarvid Overblom. Look what the fuck I was thinking. Just really keeps him in the game. Even though like gave up 2 kind of quick goals, like he let up nothing else after that,
Right.
and
The
he
two
made a lot of monster saves.
and even the 2 goals that he gave up, I think it was just team defense, just not
Yeah,
being there for him.
it
They
was
just
a feed from
totally
behind the net in on the first goal that Zegras had, and found Troy Terry just by himself, and he went like short side high. And then Adam Henrique, it was like a broken play, and which I think it was a 2-on-1. I don't think it was a breakaway, and he just sniped it like a perfect plot, like a perfect spot. Like not much you can do about that. But I mean, before even the period ended, like everybody knew that the Hawks were going to go down, but like who didn't want that to happen? Jared Tenorti.
noted
Like,
goal
and
scorer.
yeah,
Jared Tenorti comes into the season career high one goal.
I thought
Goes
it was 2.
coming into the season, his career high for goals in the season was 1. Ties it in the first period of this game.
Oh,
Oh, and then
but he also okay. I gotcha. I
okay,
see where you're
yeah.
going.
And then in the second period, another defenseman, first career goal. Philip Roos gets his first of his career. Another defenseman, Kane and Dome with the assist on that one. And then third period, noted goal scorer Jared Tenorti doubles his career high.
Yeah,
Let's go. Hawks win
unleashes a
3-2.
bomb.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Not exactly a bomb. It was more of just a puck that had eyes because it
Yeah.
ricocheted off of I don't know how many things, but ended up in the net, and that was hilarious to me when
Yeah.
that happened.
The main takeaway I took from this game was it was nice seeing defensive goals. I think there was only 2
Mm-hmm.
goals scored by defensemen all season at this point up until this game. So seeing 3 goals from defensemen was clutch.
Yeah, that
Um
would make sense.
and then Soderblom again just impresses. Like we were talking about, like, yeah, he let a couple goals there, but he was making big saves and he was giving this team every reason, every opportunity to get back in this one while they figured out what the hell they were doing in that first
Yeah,
period. Like he was making the saves needed. Again, I am so excited that I really hope that this kid is able to continue to develop the way he has so far. And that when it comes time to be competitive again, that he is a piece of this.
yeah. I think I mean, kind of has shown it this year that like hopefully this isn't just a little glimpse or flash that like is not something that he can continue to do in the future.
Right.
Because like it, I mean, if he can improve on this, then he's gonna be on like I was gonna say unstoppable, but he's the one that's stopping things. He's gonna be unbeatable.
Right. Yeah. And then that goes up until Monday. Back in Chicago, the Hurricanes were in town. And this is a team that a lot of people have as Stanley Cup favorites. They're off to a great start. Don't get me wrong, but it's not really where expectations were looking at. They got hit hard with the injury bug. I think Anderson's down. Was it Teravainen's out?
Is he?
Yeah,
Hmm.
they had a bunch of guys hurt and all that, but um, definitely showed in this game why that. I don't know if they showed why they're a top team or if they just exposed the Hawks for what they really are.
Yeah, because the Hawks didn't play well. I mean, the crazy thing about this too is like the Hawks had a lot of good chances, and they just could not capitalize on any of them. So it was like that was like tough to watch because I mean Kochetkov had a good game, but like there was definitely plenty of instances where the Hawks should have buried it and they didn't.
Oh yeah,
Um,
he stole this. He 100% stole this game. I think the Hawks on the power play had 8 shots on net, 6
mm,
opportunities on the power play. And there was I should have pulled this up. I got to find this really quick because I thought it was a really interesting stat for them. Throughout this game, they only had 1 dangerous scoring chance given up at 5-on-5, the Hawks. So they
the
weren't,
Hawks,
yeah, they
yeah,
weren't giving up a lot of huge
high
opportunities.
danger scoring
Yeah.
chances.
Um,
I mean it was just it was a pretty decent game for Mrazek. I mean he played good. the two goals I think that were good were Jordan Stahls and Andrei Svechnikov's. Like Stahl picked a corner short side, and then Svechnikov had all day. Like couldn't break the puck out on, and he just ends up with it in front of the net. But the Jordan Martinook goal, I thought was really questionable because I thought it was a high stick. I when they were going on the replays on the Comcast Sportsnet, they were saying it too. At the end of the game, like Darling was saying, like he thinks like maybe he was wrong, that like it does look like it was lower, but like still in my eyes, man, like his fucking stick's like up at the guy's shoulders. Like they're not short people. The net's only 4 feet tall.
Yeah.
Like I don't think, even if somebody's hunched over a little bit, like that's still higher than the crossbar. I just thought that like that's a shitty way to like not challenge something that could have ended up being like disallowed. It's just kind of like, oh, whatever, we'll take it. All right, like I wish they would have just challenged it, and like if they did determine it was a good goal, like the Hawks, I mean, they didn't know that they were going to be good enough on the penalty kill to be perfect, but like should have trusted the penalty kill a little bit more.
Yeah. And who knows?
That has been like their bad spot.
Could have been a momentum changer too. Who knows? But it's Monday morning quarterback. You can't really like look at it too much at that point.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then on
second shutout against the Hawks in the season already.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know they're gonna lose, but like I prefer to like
keep it close,
not get shut out, right?
Yeah. Make it competitive. Yeah, the other shutout was what, 4-0 against the Jets, right? Yeah, in Winnipeg.
Oh shit. It's the third shutout then, because they also lost 1-0 against Vegas, like second game of the year.
Was it against? Did they lose 4-0 to the Jets?
No, it might have been 4-1.
Let's see really quick.
Check their schedule.
No, 4-0 Jets.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
so yeah, third shutout against. That's kind of shit.
And then,
I mean, they only have 7 regulation losses, and 3 of them are fucking shutouts. Like that sucks.
So either you're fighting hard or you're just giving up.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then talk about a shit show of a game Wednesday night. The St. Louis Blues come to town, who, ever since we talked about them on their 8-game losing streak, they found a way to turn it around a bit here, back into contention. St. Louis came out strong. You watched the highlights of this one. I straight up did not watch this. I'll be honest. I had no interest in watching this game for some reason that day.
Yeah, I didn't get the chance to watch it because it was on TNT and I don't fucking have it. But even the highlights, like there's literally no Hawks highlights except for the Athanasiou goals, which, to note, like Athanasiou scores almost a halfway into the second period. So the Hawks in this 4-game stretch, from the time that Taylor Radish scored in like the first period against the Kings, didn't have a goal by a forward in the next 2 games, and then not until the second period against the Blues. So like
that's not
from the first period of the Kings game to the second period of the Blues game, it's basically 9 full periods of scoreless forwards for the Hawks. That's not fucking fun to watch.
That's not good. Yeah, you can't have that.
But I mean, yeah, the highlights just show like Caleb Jones just did not have a game, did not play well. Regula, I mean, one of the goals goes off of him. Like, not much you can do about that. But the highlights just showed them kind of like also just kind of standing a little bit with their sticks in the air and just kind of like, what are you doing in front of your net?
Yeah, here's the mind-blowing fact about that is Caleb Jones was a -5 that game in 14 minutes and 39 seconds of play. Holy shit.
So almost every 3 minutes of him being on the ice, the Hawks got a goal scored against him.
That is so bad, and he needs to sit up in the press spots for a little bit. I think they need to take him and realize that he is not his brother. They cannot just say because he is a Jones, he can't just fill in the role of his brother, because he was still getting a lot of power play time. He still got almost 3 minutes and 20 seconds of power play ice time, and then 41 seconds on shorthanded ice time. Like, you can't just plug him into that role. Like, he's not that type of player.
No. I mean, yeah, I would prefer if they just kind of like shared the wealth a bit. So I don't know. Having Caleb Jones playing so much on the power play is just so weird because like how many power play points does he have? Like the power play isn't really performing that great either.
No,
It's like fucking put Jake McCabe out there. I don't give a shit.
he's got 2 power play points this season.
Yeah.
He's not that guy. He's a third pairing. I mean, I even consider him
Yeah.
a seventh defenseman. Like, I think on any other team he would be a seventh defenseman. Maybe even
yeah. I love the fact that like Jack Johnson led our team in ice time this game and was the only plus player.
That's hilarious. Holy
Isn't
shit.
that great? Dude, Jack Johnson's taken on a monster role this year because he's been getting so much ice time and has not looked bad. And it's so crazy to me because like I remember just like reading about like other fans and comment sections on like the hockey subreddit, like whoever had Jack Johnson, they would just be like, "Oh God, he's fucking terrible. He's so terrible." I'm like, I don't know, man. Our team sucks, and he's
That's pretty
a plus
good.
player, like playing 23, almost 23 minutes this game.
Get that trade value up. Get like a mid-round pick for him to a team that needs a little depth defense. Let's go. I mean, he's won a cup. He's proven he can do it. He can put the minutes out there if he needs to. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, can still go the length. But yeah, it sucks to like I as much as like I don't care if the Hawks really lose that much. I would prefer if they didn't get spanked by the Blues. The other thing
Yeah.
that is kind of like weird is like go ahead and beat us because we're not supposed to be good. You're not good. You're supposed to be good. And I just want you to be 500 so that you miss the fucking playoffs and you don't get a chance at getting like the top 2 picks. Like, just fucking go and be middle of the pack. And then when the trade deadline comes around, like consider moving Tarasenko and consider moving O'Reilly and then don't fucking do it. And then just miss the playoffs and get nothing out of everything. And
They're a very streaky team this year. They started 3-0, then they lost 8 in a row. Now they won 5 in a row. Like,
yeah, well,
the only thing I
500 hockey.
was really hoping, that was the only game I wanted the Hawks to blow out a team, just because I wanted to see the Bennington meltdown. That's the only reason I wanted this team to light him up. But and the fact that he played pretty decent against the Hawks pisses me off more.
Yeah, well, I don't care.
So
I'm trying to see like if they finished like 500. Why doesn't this fucking show me? I'm trying to see like where 500, like around 500% win percentage teams land in the league. Like if it's over 10 or if it's, or you know what I'm saying? Like if it's going to be like around the 20th spot.
Yeah, you're probably looking 17 through 20.
Let's see. So
You're not finishing bottom 10.
Last year, the Islanders and Columbus finished just above 500 and just below 500, and they finished at 20 and 21. So they wouldn't qualify for like a top 2 pick in the draft. So go ahead, St. Louis, finish there. That's fine with me. I don't give a shit. You're not making the playoffs, and you're also not getting anything. Yeah. Just do that.
So the Hawks finished this last week, 1-2-1. Not great hockey, nothing really exciting. 3 stars for this week's kind of a little bit tough. Who do you wanna go with?
I'll say Philip Roos for one, just because he got his first NHL goal, and it was a pretty fucking big enough goal. I mean, it tied the game.
I'm gonna say Soderblom because he won that game against the Ducks. For one,
yeah,
he's the reason why that team was even in that game. Like they should not have been at all.
Yeah. fucking Jared Tenorti, man.
Tenorti.
2 goals in a game with a game winner. Why not?
All right, so what's more of a first star, Tenorti or Soderblom?
Probably Tenorti. The only game-winning goal of the week.
All right. So then kind of looking ahead. So between the now and the time we record next, we're gonna record a little bit early next week because of the Thanksgiving holiday. The Hawks play twice, tomorrow or today, depending on when you're listening to this. I'm gonna upload this as soon as we get done, so it will be up before. But anyway,
For sure.
they go to Boston and play an absolute wagon, 15-2 Boston Bruins, who the fuck saw that coming this year?
Watch them beat the Boston Bruins.
That would be hilarious.
Dude,
And then
watch them fucking win. It's gonna be hilarious.
and then they're back at home on Sunday against the Pittsburgh Penguins, who are 7-7-3. And the main attraction for that game is it is the Hossa jersey retirement night. It's gonna be a really cool atmosphere. I'm very excited to be going to that game and kind of taking that all in. So,
Ooh, nice.
yeah, and that'll be what to kind of look forward to here. One thing I kind of was looking at as well, regarding the Hawks, kind of coming up with their schedule and kind of looking at the standings. We're kind of talking about, where does 500 put you right now based on points percentage? The Hawks currently sit at the 8th overall pick territory. For next year's draft, they are in the top 10, so they will be into the draft lottery as of right now. So I think that right there, why that's important to bring up is that this team isn't doing good by standings reasons, but we are enjoying some decent hockey minus this last week. We're watching them be competitive, staying in games. They're winning games. The ones they're losing, they're fighting to the very end. So it's like, it's a nice reminder for, it's like, if you see this team doing well, it's not like, oh fuck, like they're blowing this rebuild the first year into it. It's like, well, no, you got to look at the bigger picture of everything. Just because you see a win here and there doesn't mean that they're actually moving high up in the standings. They're still near the bottom. And they're still going to be in that draft lottery position and potentially could be towards the bottom of the league by Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally in a week.
Their schedule is very tough coming up. Like I said, Boston, Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's a little like, what are they? They've kind of gone.
Pittsburgh is literally 500 right now.
Yeah, they're on a cold streak right now. Following Pittsburgh,
but even after that, they got like Dallas, right?
They got Dallas the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Then they got Montreal, which I mean is Montreal, but they're in the middle of the pack right now too. Then they got Winnipeg, Edmonton.
What's the Kirby Doc revenge game?
Yeah. Oh, don't say that.
Oh.
But then then open up December. Like, listen to the schedule. December, it's New York Rangers, New York Islanders, New Jersey Devils, the Winnipeg Jets.
Oh, those are all losses.
Washington, who, I mean, they're not playing great, but I still think that that's a revenge game, Dylan Strome revenge game. Yep. Vegas again. Minnesota,
Vegas is also playing very well.
Yeah, Marc-Andre Fleury just went down, so Minnesota is like right above us in the standings at this time. New York again, Nashville, who's starting to figure it out, and then Columbus right before Christmas, and then let's just finish. Keep going. We'll finish the month. Carolina, St. Louis, and Columbus again. That's a fucking tough month. I mean, you're looking at possibly 2 wins this month the month of December. Maybe 3 with Minnesota.
Oh yeah.
Like, this team's it's gonna fall back to earth. Everybody that's scared that this team's ruining this rebuild and losing their shot at Bedard.
Yeah, right.
How do you? Who is it?
Fantilli or Mitchkov.
Oh my God, Fantilli has been fucking tearing it up in Michigan too. Holy shit. I think he leads all of NCAA in points. But yeah, the losses are coming, guys. And then once December happens, you're going into the new year, and this is the time where you're going to start looking at, okay, where's Kane going? Where's Taves going? Like, now is the time you're going to start seeing the trades happening January, February. So it's buckle in. Like we're heading towards what we thought the season was gonna be. Like, thank God we had the October we did and the start of November we did, because at least we had something to, keep us into this, because oh shit, it's gonna get bad, and it's gonna get bad quick.
Yeah. I think like it's just going to show that like we just don't have those guys. But what we've seen is I think that the coaching is a big reason why they played so well in those first few games.
Definitely.
And so that's why I'm even more excited for Luke Richardson, especially like when we start to like settle into like an actual team. Because I mean, this isn't the guys where I don't know who on this team is going to be here in 3 years, but not much.
I was kind of talking about this on Hockey Buzz. One of the readers kind of commented like, yes, I like this team, but I don't see anybody blah 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 going forward by 2030 kind of thing. And it's like, this team that we're watching this year
By 2030?
Yeah.
Is that what you just said?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
This team here is built as a transition team. They're built to get out of the cap hell and the bad contracts that Stan Bowman screwed this team with. They were using this year to move contracts, take on what they can, give Kyle Davidson as clean of a slate as possible to start the rebuild. That's why it's like, really, honestly, the rebuild doesn't technically start, I think, until next offseason, because you're still dealing with a lot of Stan Bowman era stuff, and you're trying to get out from underneath that. And then to kind of go off of what you said about Luke Richardson too, if anything, the first couple months of the season, or the first month and a half of the season, I see it as a moral victory for Luke Richardson. He has got the confidence that Jeremy Colleton never was able to achieve with the fan base and with management and all that kind of stuff. Like, we know he's the guy for he's the guy for the role now. Like, we know what he can do. And he's shown with a sample of decent players, not the greatest players, but I mean, some decent players. I mean, it's anytime you got Kane and Taves in your lineup, I mean, whatever system you have, it should see some sort of outcome out of it. But now it's like, okay, this is what he's going to be able to do. Here it is. Let's build around this, and let's get people excited to come to Chicago once again and make this a reality.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have much else to add to that. It's just it's gonna be rough coming up. It's gonna be real rough. But in the long term, things are gonna be much better.
it's not a quick fix. And we've said this from the get-go. This is not a 1 year rebuild on the fly type of thing. It's a 3 to 5 year process. And it's not just gonna be, it's not NHL 23 and you just sim 5 years and okay, boom, here we go. Let's time to win.
Rebuild over.
Yeah, like, it's gonna take time. It's gonna take patience, and you gotta either accept that, or you're gonna have to just get off this fan base and just not pay attention to this team and come back in 5 years when they're good again. Like, I mean, I hate to say it that way, but there's really no other options. Deal with it or don't.
That's why I moved, man. I can't handle the rebuild in Chicago. I had to move out.
Oh man. The last note I had for Hawks talk, Hawks prospect Nolan Allen was involved in a monster junior trade. He got sent over to the Seattle Thunderbirds. So now he gets to play on the same team with Kevin Korchinski. Don't think they're going to play a lot. I think they're both left-handed guys, so they probably won't play together a lot, maybe on power plays or stuff like that. But kind of cool, two guys that are kind of seen as higher end defensive prospects now on the same team, and can kind of,
I mean, 2 first-round picks.
Yeah, build some chemistry together, at least, the buddy system type of thing, if anything.
It was funny because like when you had sent us the text in our group chat, and the text preview just said Nolan Allen traded, and I immediately was like, yo, David saying it does not give a fuck about Bowman first round picks. I was like, please, Lucas Reichel, don't get rid of him. And then it was like, oh, traded in the WHL. I was like, okay.
It was crazy. It was like,
man.
It was like Nolan Allen, another player, for like 3 first round picks or 4.
It was
insane.
Yeah. Oh, in the CHL, like picks fly, they go flying because the turnaround on teams is insanely quick. Like if you want your window to be this 3-year window for like this certain player, trade all your fucking picks. It doesn't matter because once they make the NHL, your team's gonna be shit. And you get all your picks back because you don't hold on to kids for longer than like 3 years. One of the things that I forgot that I just remembered, uh, Team Canada World Juniors announced their lineup, I believe,
Oh
their
yeah.
team, and of the 7 defensemen, the Hawks have 3 guys on there.
Let's go.
It's Del Mastro, it's Nolan Allen, and Kevin Korchinski.
Dude,
Pretty cool. 3 of 7 Hawks prospects.
I'm really excited for that Del Mastro kid. Like he really impressed me this preseason, and like I'm just
he's
God.
a 4th round pick. I saw a lot of things saying that the kid was going to be a steal. He's got 16 points in 15 games right now too, in Mississauga Steelheads. That's what's also so exciting. We keep saying it, man, but like paying attention to these prospects and like getting excited for what the future holds, because like before when we're a good team, like paying attention to the prospects really doesn't helpful because typically that's a trade chip to get somebody in the trade deadline.
You never want to get like emotionally attached to any prospect because it's just okay. Well, he's the sweetener to get that piece, but no, yeah, it's super exciting. And I'm just like, God, I cannot wait for this team for these guys to all get to the NHL because it's like they can be so fucking good. Like,
right. Other quick Hawks things too was Regula got sent down and Ian Mitchell got brought up. So we've probably seen Ian Mitchell in this upcoming game on what the fuck on Boston. Ooh, yeah, it's not a good start.
I mean, yeah, Mitchell came back from the injury, got on there, and I think he got an assist or a goal like the first game back. So he was buzzing out there. So I'm excited to see him get out there, and hopefully that means Caleb Jones will be coming out too. Hopefully they'll be able to sit him, let him
Friendly says that he's got 3 games played currently for Rockford, and he's got 2 goals and 3 assists in those 3 games.
5 points in 3 games for
sounds good to me.
I think he's ready. Let's go.
Yeah, I hope so. That'd be cool. I mean, they're gonna right now. It looks like they have Caleb Jones scratch, which makes sense after that -5 performance.
So bad. But
yeah,
somebody, I forgot who was on Twitter, but I think it was the point when Caleb Jones was -4, and this person quote tweeted somebody talking like bring up Ian Mitchell, and he goes, man, life is just a full circle. We're already back to Ian Mitchell's the savior of the Chicago Blackhawks defense.
Really excited for all these prospects. Bring them back.
Yeah. So, I got nothing else for NHL talk unless you want to give a favorite Hossa moment really quick. We'll bookend on a Hossa thing.
I think one of the first time when I was watching the Hawks and was extremely impressed with what Hossa could do was, I can't remember if it was Sharp or Kane, passed it across the top of the circles and the puck went flying in the air.
Against Tampa.
And he just catches it, goes to put it down, and then just swats it in before it even touches the ice. And I was like, this man's incredible.
Yeah,
this man is so fucking good.
Well, shit, I was gonna go with that one too because that was fucking awesome. But and then just the whole 2010 playoff, the Nashville was at the 5-minute major, and then he comes out of the box and he scores the game winner, and like his celly at the end of it. Oh my god, I fucking love Hossa. He
was just so incredible, and like such a huge factor in all of that the Hawks did in those years. I don't think he got as much praise as he ever should have because he was just so quietly solid.
Well, that's what
it wasn't like showy, but it was like whenever Taves and Hossa's line was out on the ice, like they pretty much had the puck the entire fucking time.
Well, that's what
it was mainly Hossa.
Taves said about like Hossa. Like this past week, there was an article. He was just saying he was an undercover legend. Like he was just this amazing guy that everybody knew about him, but nobody talked about him because that's just not who he was type of guy. Like he wasn't the one that demanded you talk about him or demanded the attention, all that kind of stuff. He was him. He was great. He was one of the best linemates he's ever had. But
yeah, I mean, it's probably my favorite jersey that I have is like the Hossa jersey because it's just I had to get the authentic and it's just so gorgeous. I fucking love it.
I legit keep sitting there and I'm like, fuck, if they put authentic Hossa jerseys for sale at the store at the United Center, I might have to fucking do it.
It was when it was during the transition from Reebok and they were doing half off of all jerseys. Yeah. And I was like, whip. Looks like I gotta go to the Hawks store.
I don't not plug another podcast. Not that we need to plug this one because they're monsters. But if you haven't listened to his interview on Spinning Chicklets, it's great. Just listen to him talk about his career and then him talking about the whole allergy, the reason why he couldn't play and what he was going through. Like, if you're one of those people who are like, oh, it was just a cap thing, just for the Hawks, like a fake thing. No, like listen to what he went through. It's fucking brutal. It was so brutal. One funny thing from that too is Biz said something. He's like, "Oh yeah, so you got your Arizona jersey hanging up, kind of thing." And he goes, "Well, the funny thing is, I guess his brother played for Arizona or like something with Arizona, so he had
Marcel
a jersey.
Hossa.
So he walked in. So Hossa walks into his brother's house and goes, "Hey, what are you doing with my jersey hanging up there? I didn't know they sent you one," kind of thing, like jokingly. Like it was so funny, like just like him, such a dad Hossa joke. It was so funny, but yeah, congrats
That's
to
so
Hossa.
good. I would give anything to have another player like Hossa again because god damn man, he was so amazing. And just wait until we get him on episode 300.
Yeah.
Hossa.
Is there, but like really think about like, is there really anybody close to who Hossa is now? Like, I
mean, it would
not
kind of would assume like Bergeron or like a Mark Stone, but I don't know.
Yeah, maybe Bergeron.
Like it's the two-way, but I'm thinking of a winger though too. So that's why I'm thinking like Mark Stone.
Yeah.
But I think that oh man, it's hard to compare Hossa to like Mark Stone in my actual head, but I think he's the most comparable.
Yeah, I mean I would agree with that. I just think it's gonna be hard to find another Hossa. Like it's just because it's a different era, different style of game, and the farther we get into this,
I mean, fuck, man. When it was Taves, Saad, and Hossa,
the demigod,
right?
Child, and Taser.
Yeah.
Yeah, Saad was supposed to be at Hossa.
What an incredible line that was. Yeah, he was Hossa light.
Yeah, but congrats, Hossa.
Bowman went ahead and traded him. Whatever.
Yeah, that's not he who.
Oh, didn't Hossa say he wants a role?
Yeah, he wants more of an active role. And it sounds like he and Kyle Davidson, or I don't know if it's Kyle Davison or Danny Wirtz. They were supposed to be discussing it while he's in town for the ceremony, so that could be announced. Who knows? Maybe Sunday. Maybe they'll be like, "Oh, and
that'd be really cool."
The Raptor, and here's what he's doing.
You know how like be really cool is like they have their set of like older players that they would keep around, like Bobby Hull and like Makita and Savard and Esposito, and like this could be like the new group of guys that like they always want to be around the organization as like kind of like the legends, like Taves, Kane, Hossa, Keith.
Chelios right now too, but
yeah,
it's gonna be cool.
Darling, Scotty Darls.
I think Keith, Sieves, Jalmerson, and Sharp are all going to be doing like a panel before the ceremony at the Hawks game, talking just about how much they love Hossa. Like it's just going to be just
that's amazing.
Talking. Yeah, like it's just
yeah.
Why is Hossa amazing? And that's just the whole conversation. But yeah, it's going to be cool to be there.
That's so good. I want to see that. I hope they televise it, or at least like put it on like their YouTube.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. But all right, so let's move on to NHL talk. Some quick little notes here.
Word.
the peak male athletic form, Phil Kessel, 1,000 consecutive NHL games. That's fucking ridiculous. And I'll say this, for being the first player to ever play in 1,000 consecutive games, Vegas couldn't chip in for a little bit more than just a tracksuit. Or it wasn't even a suit. It
Is
was
that
like
what it
a
was?
jacket. It was just like a jacket.
It was a jersey, right?
Was it a jersey? I thought it was.
Oh, I don't know. I thought I saw the jersey.
Oh, maybe it
I
was a
saw the
jersey.
jersey. It said "Fill the Thrill" on it,
Yeah, was
and
that
it
a
had like
jersey?
1,000 all over it, and it,
I
it
didn't
had
know.
like down the sleeve like the teams and like the. Yeah, it was ugly. I thought it was real ugly, but I mean, it was like I said before, that's Vegas.
Yeah.
That is not my style, so but it was cool. Like it's a cool like thing to have, and it's absolutely incredible the fact that he's played 1,000 games in a
It's
row.
never gonna happen again. And he will go
I
down
yeah,
as the
I don't
only
see
player
how
to
it
ever do
could.
that. Like, that's insanity.
It's pretty great.
Couple wagons going right now in the NHL. We already talked about one.
Actually,
We're looking at
I was gonna say what happened with Andrew Cogliano? Because didn't he get like suspended? Has he ever missed a game ever after that? He was like he had like the Iron Man streak, and then he got like suspended or something.
I remember.
I don't know if he's missed a game since then. He might have, but yeah, that was the funniest thing. It was
I
like
mean,
he was in the lead at one point, and then got like a questionable like call, a suspension, and then missed the next game, and then poof, see you later.
Brett Burns is the next closest active streak.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem
With
right.
how much? What's
696.
696? Okay.
Date
So if
ended.
he what damn, he needs like 300 plus more games, huh?
Yeah,
Let's
that's
see.
that's
His
insane.
contract is still oh, he's only got 2 years after this one, so never mind. He's only got 160 plus games left, and he needs 300 plus more. Hmm.
He's
Too bad.
Phil Kessel's played more games consecutively than like a majority of the NHL players play in their entire career.
Yeah, of course.
It's, it's so
He's
stupid.
he's so good. He's so good.
I love it. I don't get me wrong. I love it. I mean, I got Phil's over my shoulder every episode. I fucking love Phil, but it's so stupid that he's the one to do this.
I know, right?
But all right. A couple wagons. First one we talked about Boston Bruins 15-2. They're on a current 5-game win streak. Probably would have not lost a game if they didn't have the whole Mitch Miller shit to deal with. Because they immediately lost
Yeah,
the
right.
game after that. And then since then they've been a fucking
To Toronto.
destroying since. And then the New Jersey Devils fire Lindy chance started in the beginning of the season. They were like 1-3 to start. Yeah, they're 14-3 now. And
That's
then
hilarious.
recently, and there's been
Is that why they
videos.
were chanting "Sorry, Lindy"?
Sorry, Lindy. Yeah, like the last home game, there's videos. Sorry, Lindy. Like that's hilarious.
That's incredible. I didn't know that they had a fire Lindy chant. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
after 4 games, because they wanted him fired last year. Like I think they wanted him out so they can try to go for like a Barry Trotz, all that kind of stuff.
Like trots.
Yeah, and when they didn't do that, the fan base was pissed, and then they started 1-3, and we're not having it. But yeah, 14-3 now. They beat Toronto in overtime yesterday to advance to keep the streak going.
Yeah, I love the Jack Hughes quote.
Oh God.
The Jack Hughes quote during the interview, and they talk about like what they could probably be doing better, I believe, on the power play or something. He goes,
Like what can you do?
well, we're on a
Like,
9-game heater, so I think we're doing pretty okay.
it's what can you do to produce a more consistent 60 minutes? And yeah,
Oh yeah.
he goes, yeah, I don't know, I think we're doing pretty good. We're on a 9-game heater. It's like, what a fucking stupid
Yeah.
question. Why are you asking that question when the team's on a 9-game win streak? Like you're up to 11 now. Like what are people thinking? It's so
Yeah.
fucking dumb.
I think their franchise record is 13.
Oh, they're coming close.
Yeah.
It's the third time in franchise history that they've won 10 plus or 10 games in a row. So very interesting. And then when you have an
Good stuff.
individual wagon as well. EK 65. Have you heard? He's back and he's better than ever. Only one player has more points than him this season. And that's Connor McDavid. There's other one person tied with him, both at 28 points. He's got 11 goals and 17 assists this year. He's just feeling it, man. I think he had another 4 points his last game too.
Maybe.
Like he is just
he's in on every point that they're getting.
which does a lot. I
It's
mean, it's hard. I mean, he should be considered how bad San Jose is. Yeah, 4 points against Detroit, 2 points against Vegas, another point against Minnesota. Dallas shut him down. 2 points against St. Louis. Dude, it's just unbelievable what he's doing. And was it Mike Greer's their GM?
yeah.
He came
Mike
out and
Greer.
said, yeah, he came out and said that they would consider an EK 65 trade. But it's going to be interesting because he still has 4 years at 11.65?
11.5.
Is 11.5?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be what's it going to take to make that worth taking on that contract? Like, is it worth taking the risk that, hey, this is just a good year and next year he just bounces right back? Do you take that chance, especially with the type of cap hit? Even if the Sharks retain, you were saying, what were we saying, like 25% or something? Or
If they like, I saw people like a bunch of fans on Reddit would say like, oh, if I would absolutely love an 8.5 like Erik Karlsson. It's like, yeah, everybody would.
yeah,
But GMs like I don't know if San Jose would retain like 3 million for 5 years. Fuck, if it was,
yeah,
that's why I was saying before that we were recording, I would trade Seth Jones straight up.
take the 11, full 11.
Yeah, I would take the full 11.5 for the next 4 years versus 9.5 for the next 7. And I mean, it just
And get
becomes
your
easier to trade in like a couple of years
Carlson
and
Hawks
get a
jersey.
Carlson jersey. Yeah, an EK65 Hawks jersey. Absolutely.
I would love to. I mean, I'm not going to do this, but I would love to go back and listen to 200 episodes and find every player we said, oh, the Hawks should get him so we can get a Hawks jersey with that player's name on it. And just see, like,
Yeah.
build an all time team of that. Cause I know Phil and Carlson have always been on that list.
Yep.
So funny. But who's not on a wagon this year? The Anaheim Ducks. We talked about how bad they're doing, but what's even worse is they haven't won a game in regulation time yet this season. All their wins have come in overtime.
Yeah. So if they tie anybody, they're not going to win the tiebreaker.
Yeah. Oh shit. I didn't even think about it that way. Yo,
Yeah. I
it's so
mean,
bad.
it's really funny. They're setting themselves up really well for a high draft pick. Which I mean, I didn't know what they were going to be doing this year because they went out and they signed Ryan Strome and John Klingberg, but their team is still like pretty young with like the talent that they have with McTavish and Zegras, and then you have like Gibson who's been there forever, who they were thinking about moving, but now like we're gonna go for it a bit, and then I don't know. Anaheim's a weird one, but them losing like so much is weird.
It's insane that 5 points separates the Ducks from last place, and we'll go up to St. Louis at 22nd place in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the things that's kind of crazy. So like in their divisions, like Jersey is miles ahead of like Pittsburgh, 11 points. So like the top 4 teams are like that, whatever. Boston is 8 points ahead of Toronto, but for the Central Division, the Dallas Stars are in first with 22. and Arizona's in last with 13. So there's a 9-point difference between those teams. So all of the Central Division is within 9 points, but it's completely different in every other division. Like there's a clear leader and then a loser that's way far down below. The Central Division is like 2 wins away in one direction, and you're fucking jumping 3 spots.
So
it's so weird.
Are you saying the Central Division is just that good, or the Central Division is that bad? Half glass full, half glass empty. Parity in the division.
It's weird. It's weird because like if the Hawks win the next 2 games, they jump up. I mean, if every other team lost, they jump up to 3rd, which is just funny. And right now they're in 7th. Like that's how tight this division is. And that's not the case for any other division. I mean,
yeah.
The Hawks just need to lose.
Just fine. Looking at the standings too, real quick. Do you want to do your "I told you so" about Buffalo?
Oh fuck yeah, I do. Oh, I'm so glad you reminded me. I was thinking about this before. Remember what I said? The first 10 games of the year, that's where Buffalo is their hottest. Do you want to know what their fucking first 10 game record was? 7-3. Do you know what what they've done since then? I think they've lost like 7 straight.
7 in a row.
7 straight. So now they're fucking 7-10. Oh, I love it. I fucking love it. I tell you, it's the exact same thing as Toronto losing the first round. I'm going to say it every fucking year until you prove me wrong.
Guarantees in life: death, taxes, and Buffalo starts hot and then ends up being really bad.
I love that everybody that was like for the start of the season, oh, these teams, like a surprise, like Buffalo, hey, like they're a real big surprise. They're starting pretty hot. I mean, they might be putting something together. No, they fucking aren't. Because guess what? This isn't going to be the first time that they have like a 7-game losing streak this season either. It's going to happen again, and they're going to finish in the bottom 5 of the league, and it's just going to be fucking so funny. I just hope that they don't get a top pick like they have been lately. God, Ottawa, I don't know what they're doing.
Everybody's just getting.
This is hilarious, actually. Ottawa's the only team in like the bottom 12 with a plus goal differential of +1.
Their main problem was goaltending. I think like Cam Talbot's
back now.
Is he back now officially?
Yeah.
So that was, I think that's going to be, I don't think it's going to be, oh, they're a contender now, but that's going to make a huge difference for this team.
Yeah. They could make a bigger push though. Just talking about the goal differential, I do think it's funny that Los Angeles is 4th in the league right now with 23 points, 0 goal differential. They are exactly even. It's just so weird.
Boston fucking plus 33. I don't understand that. Like how?
What, Boston?
Yeah, why?
Linus Ullmark's having a monster year.
They're 10-0 at home. Like, I hate. Listen, for some reason, I don't know. Why,
Pasternak's having this sick season too. Damn.
Think they're regretting not paying him yet?
Oh yeah, because if he settles for anything under like 11.5 or 12, that's fucking a steal. And I just love when guys like don't get a deal signed like before their contract year, because then you're kind of like, fuck, maybe I should have signed that. Like the team, oh shit, should have done it.
If I'm Pastrnak, every time I put up a goal is like, oh, that's another $500,000. Oh, that's another $500,000.
God damn, dude. Yeah, Jersey's fucking. I'm excited to see like what every fucking team that's been doing so well, if they can keep it up. And then there's the teams that started slow. Seattle still sneaky fucking winning games. I think that they're going to be so quiet until like we're almost halfway through the year and people are like, yo, Seattle's still in a fucking playoff spot. They're above Calgary. And it's just like, yeah, like Matt Beniers is just
the teams
doing decent. Right, and then like I forgot who's leading their team, but I think it's like Jaden Schwartz maybe.
Look at, The Rangers, Colorado, Florida,
Oh,
Edmonton,
Burakovsky.
Nashville, Washington, St. Louis, Calgary. All teams that people had penciled in as playoff teams are below Seattle right now.
Yeah. I was gonna say I thought it was Shorts, but I'm wrong because I was getting updates against their game against the Rangers, and it was Justin Schultz who was scoring. He's got like 2 goals with like a game winner. But yeah,
Martin
man,
Jones is playing unreal for them.
Seattle's won some big games. Like beating the Rangers, they beat Calgary. I think they beat fucking Pittsburgh every time so far, which is funny because they played them twice already. But yeah, I don't know. They lost to the Hawks. They suck. I don't know what to tell them.
All right. Do you got anything else?
No. Yeah. Yeah. The San Ignatius JV team.
Oh yeah,
How about that?
that was crazy. Thank God it seems to be okay. I mean, there's still 2 players.
Yeah,
Last time I saw, there's still 2 players in the hospital, but they've gone from critical to stable condition.
that's good.
Everybody else is back home and all that kind of stuff. Just you think of hearing stuff like that, you think of like the Humboldt Broncos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy when it's even crazier like when it's like in your backyard. Like I remember playing that team in the HIT league for high school hockey. And in tournaments and stuff, and just hearing a Chicago-based team in an accent like that. But thank God they're okay for the most part, and hopefully they'll be able to get back on that ice soon.
It's crazy because it feels like the Broncos crash was like so recent, but what was it like 2016,
No, it had to at least be 2018.
2018? Okay, I think that makes more sense.
It was within the
But
last 4 years.
it's so weird. I think there's like a it's like some sort of cartoon thing, but it was just like if I had a nickel for every time a semi truck hit a bus full of hockey players, like I would have 2 nickels. And that's not saying a lot, but that's really weird that I would have 2 nickels. Like that's what like how does this happen a second time in such a short time, like period of time? Like this guy was hammered too. He
Yeah.
apparently blew a .13,
He was
and just you fucking kidding me? Like
in charge too with like was it like assault with a deadly weapon? They're considering the semi truck a deadly weapon because
yeah,
of
dude, are you
because of
kidding?
the alcohol level. 26 accounts of it too for each person on the bus.
I mean, he's so lucky that no one actually fucking died there.
September,
Jesus.
or I'm sorry, April,
Yeah, April
April
2018.
2018. Yeah,
That makes sense.
yeah.
Goddamn.
Glad to hear that they're okay though. For the most part, and hopefully the last 2 will be able to get out of the hospital soon and be able to move on. That's probably the worst part of it, just having to sit there and kind of deal with all this kind of stuff. And it's awesome. Again, just another example. Say what you want about the hockey culture and hockey community and all that kind of stuff, but the fucking hockey family, when shit like this happens, everybody comes together. It's unbelievable. All the people sending their wishes and mentioning them and all that kind of stuff. It's absolutely amazing how great the hockey family is.
Yeah.
Um,
That's all I got left though.
all right, so episode 201. What do you want to call it?
Damn. Oh shit. No, because I was gonna say something about Hosa, but his retirement's not until like this or the
So
jersey number raising, whatever it is. Shit. Uh, what could it be? What could it be? We bad. We're just bad. We're bad. We bad, bro. Ian Mitchell, save us.
all right. So
Yeah,
episode 201, we bad, bro. Make sure to follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, subscribe to the YouTube channel, social media at WCB Podcast. Remember, like I said, in the last episode before the Ronick interview, WCB Podcast across the board from here on out. So you want to find us, you got to find us that way. And yeah, if you haven't listened to the Ronick interview, listen to that. Make sure you come back. I mean, well, if you're to this point, you've already listened to this episode, but go back and listen to the Ronick one.
Hey, you know what? Just send it to your friends. Tell everybody.
It's a great interview. Like it's not
Yeah.
like being biased.
Go ahead and post it on Reddit for us because we're not allowed to post our things.
Fucking ridiculous. Fucking. That's what I got to fucking grind to pick with this Hawks Reddit, but I'm not gonna do that. It's too long of an episode, but all right. So we will
get you a Megan's corner.
We need to have Megan back. I miss a Megan corner. We need a Megan corner soon. All right. So we will we'll see you on the next one.
All right. Love you, boys. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the WCB podcast. Be sure to subscribe wherever you heard this podcast. To connect with Jarom and Tanner, check out the boys at WCB Podcast on all social media. We'll see you next time.